Hello and welcome to episode 17 of NCR DC Comics. I am your host, Mr. Benjamin Dupay, and joining me on the panel tonight is our own big blue Boy Scout fanatic, Mr. Travis Roseberry.
Hey, everybody.
And the man with the plan on the Wonder Woman books, Mr. Noah O'Toole.
Hello.
And the absent fellow Green Lantern enthusiast, Mr. Bradley Butin. He is not able to make it tonight because he had to go to some stuff with his daughter or something. I don't know, man.
Putting family first.
Come on,
what's up
man.
with that?
Priorities.
It goes podcasting, then your daughter, then everything else.
Then
That's
food,
how it
then,
goes.
yeah.
So we are your Rock'em Sock'em comic book overlords. And this week in DC Comics, we're going back to the past with some crazy space assassins in Action Comics number 969. Diana is summoning her inner Dr. Dolittle and talking to animals in Wonder Woman number 12. And Spoiler is pulling a Bruce Willis and seeing dead people in Batman Detective Comics number 946. Wait, I guess Bruce Willis was the dead person that was being...
Spoiler!
Oh, man, I know. Yeah. Will the space assassins totally kick Superman's ass? Will Wonder Woman slowly transform into Eddie Murphy? And will Spoiler realize that Bruce Willis was really dead the whole time? Find out this week and more on NCR DC Comics.
In a world where there are too many comic books to keep up with, one podcast has the stones to bring you all of your comic book needs, week by week, book by book. One epic show. You are now tuned in to Nerd Church Radio.
All right. So before we get started on the advertised content that you're listening to us for, I just want to let everyone know if they want to reach out to us, they're welcome to do so at nerdchurchradio@gmail.com, or if they want to check out our website where we have written reviews and other sorts of goodies for you, you can do so at www.nerdchurchradio.com. Join the conversation. We want to hear from you. Talk to us. Fill out a survey. We got one of those on there, so let us know how we're doing. What else? This week, we are going to be doing something with the comic books. Noah, what are we going to be doing with the comic books?
Spoiling them.
We are going to be spoiling the comic books. So all the plot beats, character developments, all that stuff, we are going to be talking about all of that. What else? I feel like I normally bring up a lot of stuff at the beginning of the show, and I didn't really make a list this time, so...
I think you got it, man.
I think I got it.
Let's get down to business.
Let's get down to business. We got Suicide Squad number 8. And I actually... Hold on, I gotta read off the creative team on this one because it's a big one. So we have Rob Williams as the writer, Jim Lee as the penciler, and Scott Williams and Richard Friend and Sandra Hope as the inkers on one part. And then on the second half, we have Rob Williams as the writer, Giuseppe Camunsali as the layouts, and Francesco Mattina as the artist. So big creative team on this one. It's kind of 2 books in one, actually. So, and the first note I made was, did you guys read this?
No, I didn't.
No?
No.
Killer Croc just screaming over and over and over again, entrails ramen, entrails ramen. It's just the greatest thing in the world to me. I don't know. Anyway, in the first part of this book, we conclude the story arc that I haven't really been keeping up with, where the Suicide Squad has been dealing with General Zod, who has escaped from the Phantom Zone, not the negative zone, but the Phantom Zone.
It's the one just adjacent to.
They're next door neighbors. They borrow sugar from each other sometimes. Anyway, he's escaped from the Phantom Zone and he's wreaking havoc in Bel Rev prison. In the end, the Suicide Squad defeats Zod and is back to their normal ways. I don't really want to go into too much more detail on that just because I haven't been keeping up with the book and I don't want to sound like an idiot, like I'm talking about a book that I haven't been reading. I just dropped it, because people love it when you do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the back half of this book, however, is the prelude to Justice League versus Suicide Squad event that's coming up next friggin' week, which I'm so excited. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So in this part of the book, Killer Frost has been captured by Waller's team and is being brought to Belle Reve prison to join up with the squad and achieve her all-time squad goals of having the freshest crew on the block. Basically, the whole book is like Rick Flag leading Killer Frost down a hallway and introducing her to all the members of her new squad. The one part that stood out to me about this book was where she was introduced to El Diablo, and in her head she was like, "Hey, baby, you want to let me suck the life force out of you?" That's, I mean, because, you know, like the whole, you told me about this, Noah, what's the Firestorm, right?
Yeah, that's where she originally came
Yeah,
out of.
they were like the perfect couple because, like, you know,
She's a vampire. She needs their heat source to live.
Yeah, so it makes perfect sense to me that they're going to be like a couple, you know, and I really want to see that happen. Because
Fire and ice.
Yeah, it would be totally hot. Or wait, would it be cold?
I guess it'd be lukewarm.
Probably lukewarm. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Frost gets to the end of her journey through Belle Reve prison, where she's welcomed by Amanda Waller, standing in a room looking totally gangster, and she gives Killer Frost the usual Suicide Squad pitch, which like goes something like, "Hey, you want to join my super team and let me put a bomb in your neck? Then we can go on crazy suicide missions together and live happily ever after," and all that stuff. So
how could you turn that down?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, get a couple years off your prison sentence, maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Killer Frost like just totally terrified by Waller and is like, "Yeah, I guess I'll join your Suicide Squad. I don't really have much choice." But you know, that's great to me to see Killer Frost be terrified. You know, that just like
So that was kind of a cold reception.
ooh, I'd say it was ice cold, Travis.
Did you miss me last week?
Oh, I did. I've missed you for a couple weeks, man. It's nice to have you back. So overall, I have to say the book was really good. I really enjoyed this. You didn't read this, Noah?
I didn't get to it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have now, and yeah, it's great.
Oh no, because I remember texting you about it.
I
Being
know.
like, okay, I figured you would once you heard that Killer Frost was in it. But
Yeah.
because you're like, you know, I thought
We had finals this week, and yeah.
Oh yeah,
I didn't
God,
quite get totally
Ugh.
to it, but
sounds like fun.
right.
Yeah, all right. I'm not really factoring in the first part of the story into my rating just because I haven't been keeping up with it. And I don't really think it would be fair for me to be like, you know, I'm going to rate this first half of the story, you know.
Yeah.
That being said, the back half was a lot of fun. It gives me a lot of comic book introductions to characters that I've only been introduced to in the films, or in the film, I guess. So I'm really excited to see the comic book adaptations because typically it goes like, the movies are cool, but the comic books are better to me, or you know, I like the characters in the comic books better normally. I've never
Right.
seen a DC character that I liked more than the one in the books. Have you guys?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so the narrative throughout the back half of the book was like Killer Frost being walked through Belle Reve prison and kind of thinking to herself like, I'm terrified, but I'm gonna act tough, you know, and take down the biggest person in the yard or whatever, and like stuff. So it was kind of funny to see her be like so vulnerable because she's a character that I've always thought was like sort of like ice cold, but like also has an attitude and you know is someone that's not to be trifled with, sort of, you know. So seeing her be vulnerable, is that kind of what she's like, Noah?
Yeah, I enjoyed the scene where she is like just getting into the prison and is meeting the people, and her inner dialogue's telling her, you know, to keep up the facade, but on the outside she's like, "Are you trying to stop me from being hungry? Because I'm always hungry."
Yeah,
and I was like,
yeah.
that's awesome. And then at the end with Amanda, you could tell that all just drained from her face. It was like,
Yeah, she's like, ruh-roh. That's what Brad would say. So yeah, that's kind of cool just to learn a little bit about that character and stuff. I'm really excited. I wish I had that DC Direct Current magazine with me because there's some really cool villains that are coming up for the Justice League Suicide Squad run. I know, what's the one that wears the necklace? She's not really a villain, but she can summon the spirit, sort of life force or spirits of animals or whatever.
Oh, that's Vixen.
Vixen, yeah,
But she's not a bad guy.
No,
She's
I know,
cool.
but she is going to be a part of
gotcha.
the event. And then there was other.
she'll be in the JLA now, or isn't that what's coming out? Yeah, the JLA.
Yep. And then Lobo is going to be part of it.
That's what's
Awesome.
going to be
Yeah.
weird. I just talk about people you don't picture cooperating in a group.
Yeah.
he kind of comes top of the list. So
Yeah.
But-
the artwork's fantastic, though, man. Matina, I mean, Jim Lee's a great artist. I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like Jim Lee, his older stuff is really good, and it's been a while since I've seen him draw anything more recently, probably because he's like running stuff at DC and he's not drawing as much. But the artwork on the first half of this book with Jim Lee just wasn't as impressive to me. I don't know why.
Really?
I mean, it was not bad. It just, to me, like, Jim Lee normally stands out. It's like really, really Jim Lee and really powerful, and like this just to me wasn't as. Now that being said, even a bad Jim Lee drawing is better than most average comic book artists. But it just, as far as if I'm comparing it to his other work, that's all I meant by it.
I don't know. It looks pretty classical to me to Jim Lee's, but yeah, the layout. The layout doesn't really harken like when you look at Hush and other what is it, For Tomorrow? Yeah, he wrote that one, Superman for Tomorrow.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, it's good art, but yeah, I agree. I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's the thing I think is the layout, because the layouts in Hush are really dynamic and cool, and that's what kind of got me. So before I rate this book, I do want to let you know that we do have a rating system here at NCR. Gideon, why don't you tell the listeners all about our rating system?
If a comic book is bad, we rate it as blasphemy. If the book is good, we give our blessing. If the book is not bad, not good, but just kind of meh, we rate it as stuck in purgatory. If the book is great, we rate it as holy. And if a comic book exceeds all standards of awesomeness, we rate that book as salvation.
All right, thank you so much for that, Gideon. And that being said, I would have to give this book a solid holy just based on the back half of it. I really don't think there was much I didn't like about it, and it gave me a really great intro to the Justice League versus Suicide Squad event that's coming up. Anyone that's planning on reading the Justice League Suicide Squad event, if you just want a little taste of it, you should grab this. It's still at the comic book stores. This is not a book that's sold out, so you still have time to go pick it up if you want to. I guarantee they probably have copies at your comic book shop. You guys just leafing through the art, what did you guys think of it?
I liked it a lot too, from what I especially could tell from the things I read. It was really good, and if you like, what a better time to I feel like it's like starting to get started, you know what I mean? So like jump on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very cool.
I'm just a Jim Lee fan boy, so I saw it and I just thought, I like Jim Lee's stuff, so I'd give it a pass, but I didn't read any of it, so my apologies.
No, that's cool.
Like you said, I don't feel fair to critique it without actually reading through it and knowing more about it. So
very cool.
Yeah, I'd pick it up. I'd read it.
You would?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey man, what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, I'm going to pass things off here to T-Train. What you got for us, Travis?
We've got New Superman number 6.
He's new.
Right. He's new. He's improved. Well, not really improved, but yeah, he's good. He's... we've got New Superman number 6. Team is Yang, Bodanovic, Friend, and Hi-Fi. Which I assume Hi-Fi is the group.
That's
right?
like I did some research on that. That's like Blonde is another one.
Yeah,
so that's like a team of graphic designers or colorists or illustrators that just work on stuff.
Which, just looking at the art and everything in this book, I can understand why they need a team of people to color and draw, because I'm colorblind and I can see some colors, but just all the different shades and everything that I can only see, I can't imagine what you guys can see. It's just holy cow, there's just so much detail and art in these books.
Yeah, it is. It'd
be time consuming for one person to do.
It's been a standout for me too, man. This is one that I really hope the sales come up on. So,
which, did you tell me that this is the one that they're going to discontinue, or
no? I read an article online where they were just kind of making forecasts based on sales numbers, and they were saying like, here's the books that sales have kind of dropped off. Which it's interesting because one book that's dropped off that I didn't expect is Wonder Woman has dropped off.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
The sales have dropped off quite a bit, and I'm surprised because that's, to me, is like one of my top books.
Yeah, so. I'm surprised too.
Yeah, but anyway,
Without any further ado, let's see here. The Great 10 are dispatched to take down the airliner that is loaded with the genetic modified Staros. However, Superman and his father are already en route. Superman has been depowered. However, he knows he needs to help the people on board, and Wonder Woman and Fat Bats, or Batman.
New NFB.
Yeah, there you go. Remembering what Ming Ming told him. Ming Ming was the assistant back at the headquarters.
Yeah.
Told him about activating his powers. If he focuses his ki, or whatever that word is, my apologies, he's able to reactivate his invulnerability and his super strength. Storming the plane, Superman and Flying Dragon General, his father, take on the Head Starro and the Firecracker. They're the same person. Firecracker has the lead genetically modified Starro on his face, and he's controlling everybody on the plane. Superman figures out that he can suppress the freedom fighters by slapping Starros on their face, but this only makes more Starro soldiers. That plan wasn't really thought out that well. As Flying Dragon General chases human Firecracker, Superman takes on Wonder Woman and Bats, because they've got the Starros on their faces, and Wonder Woman's got him in a chokehold. Through a series of unfortunate tussles, Superman finds out that he can remove the Starros with extreme cold, and he face plants Batman into an ice chest in the galley area, which was kind of neat. This takes place in about 3 or 4 pages, and it's actually a lot of fun back and forth. So take the time, read it. I'm just trying to get through the details here.
Yeah.
To free the whole plane, one passenger comments about glowing green rings. So this kind of ties back into what's going on in Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps, which I don't really know how. Did I miss that? He says something about it, and
I actually didn't. This was one of the 2 books that I didn't read this week. So.
I think I know why. It's because the Starros share like a hive mind. So
okay.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Man, talk about a good book too. Hal Jordan.
Yeah. You have to wait your turn.
Yeah, listen, man. Sorry, I'm impatient.
But the fight isn't over. The fight isn't over, and just then the Great 10 show up outside the plane to take it down. Now remember, the Great 10 was the group of people that China kind of doesn't control, and they're there to be the heroes, but nobody really recognizes their authority.
Yeah.
So Wonder Woman continues to fight the freedom fighters, and they continue to work with them to stop the Great 10 from destroying the plane. So they have to team up. They freed everybody from the Starros, but now they have to figure out some way without destroying the plane to get it down and save everybody.
Kind of a classic, kind of a weird version of a classic Superman conundrum a little bit, like the airplane and stuff. Yeah.
You have to work with your enemies to make this happen.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Supes takes on Firecracker with his dad in the cockpit of the plane. A few blows are exchanged between Firecracker and Superman, and through his fear, Superman loses his powers again. He gets scared of Firecracker, and his powers go out. But he doesn't need it to stop this guy, so he reaches up and he rips the head Starro off the face of Firecracker. This somehow activates a bomb inside of his uncle, but Flying Dragon General jumps in and absorbs the blow, killing him. Supes and Flying Dragon General share a touching moment on how to care for everyone. Then Keenan, or Superman, can truly become Superman. The plane lands and is swarmed by reporters, but Supes doesn't want the attention anymore, because we all know that he loved getting in front of the camera and boasting about himself, right?
That was kind of his thing before,
Right. Later, at the graveside of his father, he has a graveside confession between Superman, Wonder Woman, and Bats, and discuss the mystery that surrounds his mom, and they have a hunch who's involved in this, and they all think that it's Dr. Omen, but they need to do some investigating before they approach Dr. Omen and charge her with that. So from this, we get a tighter team, an actual Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, the Trinity. Back at the Pearl Tower, Supes speaks with Ming Ming, who advises him to take on martial arts to center himself to become Superman. So basically, find your key and you can reactivate all your powers again, which was kind of interesting. yeah, I buy it. I went, okay, go on.
Right.
Our last panel shows Dr. Omen at the remote mountain research building, where she has Flying Dragon General in a stasis tube. She tells us through the compliance device she slapped on him before they left to go after the plane. She tells us through the compliance device that she slapped on him right before he left, that she can bring him back to life, my love. So we find out that Dr. Omen really is Superman's mom.
Really?
Or at least we're led to believe it.
Wow. That's a twist that I actually didn't see coming. I saw the Flying Dragon General being his father thing coming like a mile away, man. Like the issue before it happened, I was like, yeah, that's his dad. I kind of even thought it like the second issue of the book.
Yeah.
But this I did not see coming.
No.
So
but I kind of like the synergy involved with it because his mom died in a plane crash, a stage plane crash, and yet he has this tie with his dad that died in the plane crash.
Right.
Yeah. I thought it was good. So, what did I say here? I said it's a little wordy, but that's kind of the tone with this book. It's just a lot of dialogue. So you got to be willing to slog through it.
They're gonna make you work for it.
Yes, but it's good. It's worth it. So it's got a lot of good action, a lot of good character growth. I thought I'm just gonna give it a straight up holy.
Oh.
Yeah,
I like it.
I feel like there was a lot of holies this week on my end anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. That was but overall, like I've really enjoyed this book. It's been a standout for me. The artwork it's very like cartoony and kind of Calvin and Hobbes a little bit, sort of like just the expressions and stuff.
And you would think people wouldn't like that, but I find it a little refreshing sometimes. I kind of like it. So.
Yep.
Yeah, good job, everybody.
Yeah. I mean, there's the one thing where it's like the Jim Lee style of art, where it's like this is freaking beautiful and like masterful, and like the Liam Sharp or Nicholas Scott type stuff. But then there's the other side of stuff where it's like Scotty Young or who did the art on this? I'm looking for it right now. Because I want to give him credit. Victor Basanovich and Richard Friend. Yeah, I mean, like they've really like kind of characterize these people really well, Batman's kind of this chubby pissed off guy who like gets pissed off at Superman, and Superman's this like snot-nosed like teenage brat who's like a bully. He's got Damian characteristics almost kind of.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's just like their big sister and kind of like, holding them both apart, by the head. And they're swinging at her, and like, I mean, like it's just kind of fun, man. I love watching them interact with each other. It's been a lot of fun.
And then I also have to bring this up again. The paper folding man or paper ninja. Did you read that panel? He's attacking Superman and his arm turns into a piece of paper and it says unfold.
Oh man, no, that's awesome. Very like Power Rangers campy stuff. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Very cool. Have you read any of these, Noah?
I haven't, but I enjoy listening to podcasts where you guys talk about them because it seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's only so many comic books you can fit.
You can actually feasibly read, right?
Yeah, and this one though, I mean, it was one of the standouts for me. The surprise standouts for me that I was like,
I agree with that. It's a surprise. I didn't know how I would like this because I was like, great, it's another Superman knockoff book,
right?
And I actually have grown to kind of care about this guy.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, I'll keep with it. I'll keep reading it.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch him grow. They've done very, very good with their character development.
Yes, so exactly.
If you can make me care about these characters, it's like you did really well, because I came into this not thinking I was going to care about these characters very much. So, yeah. All right, cool. All right, well, we will pass things off here. What do you got for us, Noah?
All right, I've got Batgirl and the Birds of Prey #5 by Julie Benson and Shauna Benson and drawn by Raj Antonio.
I love this book, man. I don't know.
This was very, very exciting. But before I start, a little note to DC: don't spoil your biggest mystery in your previews next time. We talk. It's like, I know who Oracle is before the book came out because you spoiled it in a preview. So.
Yeah, man. Like we talked about that last week, and we had to kind of stop because we had already read like the book, but yeah, man, this whole time I've been wondering, like, who's fake Oracle? Who's fake Oracle? We thought it was a calculator or the moth or something.
Yeah.
keep you in suspense.
Yeah, well, and then it's like they throw a preview out there that gives you like lays it all out for you. And it's like not even just like a silhouette of who it maybe is or something.
Right, maybe they flat out give you his name, full on picture. But that notwithstanding, it was still a really, really good issue. So that's good. What's happened so far, basically, somebody is pretending to be Oracle and has started selling their services to the highest mafia bidder. So Batgirl and Black Canary have teamed up along with the Huntress to clear Oracle's good name. So we now have cut to the birds have discovered where fake Oracle is and have broken into his base. And it turns out the person pretending to be Oracle is a young hacker dude named Gus Yale. And basically he's just an Oracle super fanboy. And he figured out not only that Barbara Gordon was Oracle, but that she was also Batgirl. His place is full of Barbara Gordon memorabilia, from her like old uniform to a Batgirl lunchbox to Barbara's old Coke bottle eyeglasses.
This guy is like me if I knew how to hack.
Right. Just walk in like all this memorabilia. And it turns out he's not actually a bad guy at all, really. He just wants to be part of the team. And the birds point out that selling their secrets to the mafia is not the best way to go about doing that.
Maybe if you want to be part of the team,
right?
Don't sell our secrets.
Sell our secrets to the mafia. That's
Maybe just say hi. I want to be part of the team.
Right? Maybe send a text with some nice emotes or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it does at least lead them to Fennis, which is the mob boss. That's the highest bidder. They're all after each other here. Barbara assumes the mantle of Oracle again on Gus's rig, while Canary and the Huntress go after Fennis. And right when Huntress is ready to take the shot, she hesitates. Fennis is her mother.
Yep.
Dun dun dun. And next, family reunion.
Yeah, and like this is cool to me because of the backstory we got on Huntress with her family and the crime families, and you're probably going to go into that. But
right. Oh, I mean, not a whole lot. There was that one issue that they had a good backstory of her when she was the kid and all that, right? And I mean, Huntress's whole shtick for the most part is that her family was killed by the mob, and she wants to kill them back now, and so it's definitely a shock to have her mother back. So that was a cool reveal at the end. One thing I did a little research. I don't know if once a while back we had mentioned it. Julie and Shauna Benson are actually sisters.
Julie and Shauna Benson.
Yep, they're the writers.
Are they?
Yep.
Oh,
and
okay.
So
I was wondering about that. Yeah,
I thought that really kind of shows through in the sisterhood of the birds.
There's a lot of familial sort of ties in this book. Yeah. So.
Interestingly, I've seen a couple episodes, but they also write the 100 on the CW. If anybody's fans of that show, so
I've heard of it. I've never watched it. Have either of you?
I've seen a couple episodes, and it's good, but again, I don't have enough time to watch much TV, much less but. And usually Claire Rowe is on art, so a lot of times they have an all-female creative team, which is nice for a kind of a girl team book of the Birds of Prey. I liked the backstory we got on Gus. It gave us enough connection to empathize with him, even though he was kind of set up to be the bad guy. You find out he just really liked Oracle, and one time she sent him a message asking for his help to hack a Russian file that he could do, and like he just lived for that, and like thought Oracle was just the coolest person. She was like the big superhero of the hacker world. And
I love the word they use in that. He's like, I met her on the dark net.
On the dark net, yeah.
It sounds very 90s. Like,
it does. And that scene, just as short as it was, I mean, it was a good page or whatever, but I for the first time I noticed it really addressed the first fallout in the real world when Oracle left. I mean, she just kind of became Batgirl again, and everything picked up, and they'll mention that she was Oracle here or there, but like this shows like if Oracle was real, how the real people that knew her and stuff would react. Right. Where'd she go? Did she get killed? Did she retire to the Bahamas, and
I love those panels where like the hackers were trying to guess what happened, and it was like her wearing the silly mask and stuff.
They used the Oracle head, the whatever is the thing with the blowhole in it when they wondered if she was dead. I thought that was funny, but I thought that was a cool touch. It really grounded it for me. And then as she's like helping them take down the mob, she happens to notice that he funneled all the money he got from the mob into charity. And he's like, wow, you did that in a couple seconds. I thought it'd take you a little bit longer to do that. Go you or whatever. So, but that was cool because he's a good guy and he just wants to be part of the team. But I loved. There's a lot of funny parts. Each bird, they have done a good job giving them their own personality. The huntress, my favorite part. He's like, "Oh, Helena, something or another," and she goes, "Go ahead. Use my name again."
Yeah.
He's like, "Helena, you give the team teeth. I like that." And she's like, "Go ahead, use my name again."
She's like the Punisher of this team.
Yeah, for sure. She's like, no nonsense. And then Black Canary, Huntress made some joke. I can't remember what it was, but Black Canary goes, "Oh my God, was that your first joke? I'm so proud of you. High five."
Yeah, it's so great. I love it.
But my all-time favorite panel of the whole thing was once they kind of realized what was going on. Batgirl excused herself into the bathroom, and there was a scene of her holding her hair back into a ponytail with her glasses on, and she says, "Am I still Oracle?" And the next panel has her hair down. It says Barbara Gordon, and then she has her mask on, and it says, "Or Batgirl." And then she says, "I'm all damn 3."
Yeah.
And I got shivers. I was like, hell yes, you are all damn 3. That's amazing. And then she said, "Call me Oracle when I'm behind all this hardware."
Yeah, I love that.
And I was like, oh, she's like Oracle again. She's actually Oracle again now. I mean, no Batgirl. She's like, "Call me Oracle." And I feel like my insides felt like Gus's face looked when he was sitting next to her. He just has this squeal look on his face,
That's awesome.
So I just connected to this whole issue. And I liked Canary was talking. She says, "Fans let you know that they know best." And if that's the case, this is one of the best Birds of Prey issues I've read.
Yeah.
The art is good, consistent, appropriate for the book. It's not too cheesecake. Sometimes, like Ed Benez, I love him as an artist. He's done Birds of Prey a lot, but he's super cheesecakey. And this is just nice and appropriate. I love it. Usually this is a high blessing for me, bordering on holy. And this time, without a doubt, for the first time, was hands down a holy.
I would agree with you there very much. Like I came into this thinking I was let down by the whole reveal of who fake Oracle is and stuff like that. But when we found, when we got a real explanation on who he was and got the backstory of him and stuff, and then you find out that we're now going to see Batgirl take the place of Oracle sometimes and really grow into I mean, she's had 3 roles over the years where it's she's either been Babs or she's been Batgirl or she's been Oracle. So seeing her interchange between those 3 roles in a book is really exciting.
Yeah, I agree. And I hope that this actually leads to, maybe him adopting a different identity. He said something about Condor or something in there, Falk. I can't remember what he said. But her to take back the mantle of Oracle and, be Oracle again now sometimes, not somebody else. Yeah. Barbara's both Oracle and Batgirl now, so I thought that was killer. I loved it.
Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah, I give it a holy 2. Did you read this one at all?
I did not.
Are you a Batgirl fan at all?
Not really. I don't really follow.
Are you a Grayson fan, kind of?
Yeah.
You like Grayson a lot? Yep. Yeah. See, I like Batgirl. I don't know. I think I like Batgirl a lot just because I read her before I read Grayson, so.
The only thing I know about Batgirl was from pre-52, and she was shot by the Joker and broke her back.
Killing Joke, and
I never read the Killing Joke though, and I actually was first introduced to her as not so much as Batgirl, but Oracle.
Oracle, yeah.
And I love the idea of Barbara. I know it sounds kind of sadistic and weird, but I love the idea of Barbara Gordon sitting there in the middle of a room just surrounded by monitors and controlling the team and kind of being not only their conscience but also their guide and everything else.
That's not bad at all though. I mean, Oracle is an amazing character, and there was a point in time before the New 52 when they finally rebooted Barbara back as Batgirl, where she spent more time as Oracle than Batgirl. So I mean that is a huge part of her history, and she is Oracle to many, many, many readers. Sure. and there's a couple super cool scenes where I remember her in a wheelchair with eskrima sticks. And then you'll see thugs come up on her, and then the next scene they'll all be just on the floor, and she's still in her wheelchair with the sticks. I was like, oh, that's badass. Go you.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I love the idea of Oracle. It's just really cool. Someone that provides so much support, and I don't know, man. To me, it's she spent a lot of time in the wheelchair, developing her mind and stuff like that, and now she's back on her feet, and like to me, like that enhanced her abilities, sort of. To me anyway. I don't know how much of that goes into the writing, but it seems like to me that would enhance your fighting abilities and stuff like that, and makes her more of an analytical
fight
thinker.
smarter. Yeah.
So in the Bat family or in the Bat world, there's more women than there are men now, aren't there?
I want to say
because you get the Bat woman.
Yeah, Batwoman.
Then you've got all the
Batgirl.
You've got Spoiler. You've got is it Bluebird? You've got
Gotham Girl.
Yeah.
Gotham Girl. Well, no, let's keep her out of it because she's kind of around. But there's the one girl that's dressed in complete black with the
Cassandra Cain.
No, it's she's in Detective Comics. I forget what her name is though. Yeah, she's wearing like the all black leather, like her face is even covered.
Yeah.
I think she'll end up being Cassandra Cain, David Cain's daughter. She was Batgirl in the previous.
I think it may be Cassandra Cain, and she
Orphan.
grew into a different.
Do they call her Orphan?
Orphan, yes.
Orphan. That's Cassandra Cain.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then you've got all of these characters in Birds of Prey, and it's just like, holy cow! They really, tilted that dynamic. They have. I mean, I have no problem with it. It's just kind of, I'm just sitting here thinking about it, going, wow, there are a lot of people on the Bat family, and then I started thinking about, wow, it's a lot of women on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it works, man, for me. Like, I don't know, there's certain ones I like more than I've never been. We talked about this on the last show. I've never really been a Batwoman fan. I just nothing against her.
Yeah, same here. I just never really read it and got
just
into
doesn't seem that cool. I don't know why. I don't like the design of her mask. It's all like cosmetic stuff that I don't like. It's not really anything about her as a person. I'm a very visual person, and like her costume just doesn't really like. That's one thing I love about Babs too. Is like I think like the new design of her costume that was given to her by who again?
Babs Tarr. Yeah. Then whoever the writer was, Brendan Fletcher.
Yeah,
I think.
It's a little more motorcycle jacket kind of look.
Speaking of motorcycles, I love that they all three ride motorcycles in this, because that's badass. But I'm so on her new. I mean, I dig it from the practicality standpoint.
That's why I like
and
it,
stuff.
yeah.
But at the same time, I love those classic knee-high boots and that type of armored bat. Outfit and all that, but either way, it's all good. I like that at least she's keeping with the purple theme that she picked up in the old '66 Batman show. And
her old one, I just got like a little vinyl figure of her classic one, and it's like the very very Batman '66. I like it a lot. Yeah, it's not here, Travis. It's at work. Okay, cool. So I am going to move things on here, and I'm going to talk about, what do I want to talk about? I'll talk about a little bit of Superman action I guess it's just Action Comics. Number 969. We're getting closer and closer to the 1,000 mark. Yeah, I bet it's going to be like a $10 issue too.
Probably.
Yeah, it's going to be like an oversized issue.
Shut up and take my money already.
Yeah, I know.
They'll have a collector's edition and print 10,000 copies.
Yeah. Can you imagine the variant copies? Like 17 of them.
Yeah. So, Action Comics number 969, story by Dan Jurgens, art by Patrick Zurcher. So it's backwards day in Superman land, and Zod has just been kidnapped by crazy future assassins, and Supes has to figure out how to save him.
Zod?
Zod?
You said Zod. It's Lex.
And Lex. Oh, wow. Lex has just been... Man, I'm mixing
Corpse,
up.
Core.
No. That's a bigger mistake. No, Lex has just been kidnapped, and Superman has to save him, which is why I thought it was backwards day, because it's like... Normally Superman would be like, who cares? Lex is kidnapped, whatever. Like, take care of my problems. Actually, he would probably always care.
He'd always probably help you out.
Unless it's the new 52 Superman, but that's getting into a whole new thing. All right, so Supes is staring off into Metropolis and trying to find Lex, while Lois and the let himself go just a little bit Clark Kent are just chilling and recapping the last issues. He's just chilling there in his sweatpants, holding his bag of Cheetos, and,
the Cheeto
drinking his soda pop, and stuff. Meanwhile, on the planet Nadisi, the two space assassins are just beating the holy hell out of Lex Luthor for crimes that he just hasn't committed yet. And Lex Luthor is just being his total snarky self and just like, pretty not snarky, just like logical. He's like, you can't kill me for crimes I haven't committed yet. And he's trying to reason his way out of this one. And you can't really reason your way out of this one, Lex. But maybe
super intellect.
Yeah. Well,
haven't they watched Minority Report yet?
Yeah, right.
Black you know how this ends.
Yeah. It's not very effective on these two though. So then we find out why. We jump a little bit back into time with the two space assassins, where it's revealed that they think that Lex is Darkseid's future replacement. Which is why they're trying to kill him. Mm-hmm. And they were told that by this old witch lady that apparently gives them these like future predictions or whatever. So back in the present time with the space assassins, those two evil looking knuckleheads are telling Lex that he's going to stand trial for his future crimes, then be executed, because it would be totally impolite just to kill him without letting him stand trial for
something he hasn't done yet. Yeah.
I think there's like... You think that in this land there's like lawyers that study future crime and like, you know? So.
Yeah, I bet their pictures are on the benches of space buses and stuff.
Yeah. I majored
I'm picturing Futurama right now.
Future crime. Or yeah. So
future litigation.
Future litigation, yeah. So meanwhile, Soups has headed over to the Amazon, not the Wonder Woman, but the actual place, the Amazon. We forget that it's an actual real life place.
It's an actual jungle,
yeah. And this is where Geneticron has dropped an office building down into the Amazon. Do you know anything about this, Trev?
That's where a couple of issues back when Lex went missing, I'm sorry, brain's a little fuzzy, but the building just disappeared out of middle of downtown Metropolis, and they were trying to figure out what happened to it, and it just appeared in the middle of the Amazon forest, and Superman and his son found it 2 issues ago, I think it was, and they really didn't understand why it disappeared or why it showed up in this location, and he's trying to figure this out, and he still hasn't been able to, but he's seen like tech that doesn't belong on this world inside this building, and it's all has to do with when Doomsday was running amok. Right. Doomsday was in this building, so something is, we don't have all the story yet. It's still interweaving and connecting, so that's kind of where you pick back up at.
I was kind of wondering, because I did drop off of Action Comics for a few issues, and that
understandable.
Yeah. The issue where they focused on Let Himself Glow Clark was the issue where I was like, okay, I'm going to pick this back up in a few issues when you guys have stopped focusing.
It was right after that one that they do the Genetic Con or Core or whatever it is.
I'm just not interested in Powerless Clark, man. Yeah, I just don't care. I don't know why.
Eat your Cheetos, watch Judge Judy and Lee.
Yeah,
there you go.
This is called Action Comics. It's not called
not Couch Potato Comics.
Yeah, this is not called Watch a Non-Superpowered Guy Do Detective Work Comics. That's Detective Comics. Go over that one. Yeah, we'll stay over here with Superman. All right, so anyway, he's headed over to the Amazon. He found this giant office building that Geneticron dropped down in the jungle. And what a total comic booky coincidence. It's Soup's lucky day. He found the spaceship that's going to take him to save Lex Luthor. And it's to be continued in The Enemy of My Enemy. And that's it. It was Action Comics. It's been a favorite of mine since Rebirth started, actually, though. I mean, I did drop off there for a while, but like there was a part where like it was so confusing, but I was still reading it and enjoying it. And it's like, you know, there's 2 Supermen, and there's a superpowered Lex Luthor, and there's Doomsday and Wonder Woman, and I don't know what's going on, but I'm enjoying the living hell out of it for some reason.
No, I completely agree with you. I'm a huge Superman fan, and I'm still kind of scratching my head, even with the reveal that happened in this book, which isn't much, but we find out that how that big alien guy was able to beat up on Superman was because he actually has powers that drain and then coerce his whoever he's fighting against. And I was like, oh, well, that makes sense.
That makes sense then.
And did you catch the little Easter egg or the nugget of a plot point building? Right after they're showing the 2 aliens beat the crap out of Lex, they have a little thing where he's using his super intellect, and he drops the mother box out of his suit into the ground, and then he covers it up with a little bucket or whatever, which is conveniently placed there.
Right. Oh, wow.
And it shows in one of the panels, and I can't remember where it's at, but it shows the mother box like boring down into the ground of this planet. So it's like, what's going to happen there? So
interesting.
Another little level of
portal or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's cool. I wish they had made it a little more apparent to the reader, because I didn't catch it at all. But that is really cool. I'm excited to see if something comes of that.
The only reason I caught it is because I was reading the PDF version and I had it zoomed way in because my eyes are going to crap.
Yeah. You're reading it on your phone.
Yeah.
So the narrative was kind of told through flashbacks of the antagonists. I'm kind of interested to learn more about them, just from what they've been told their dudes who are being told the future by this old witch lady. We don't know if that's the actual future or if that old lady has some type of ulterior motive in telling them, where she's trying to bring forth her plans
future,
or whatever, so it'll be interesting to find out about that. Hopefully they do develop that and flesh that out a little bit. The artwork is probably my favorite part of this book, just with the flashbacks of the DC planet are super like spacey looking, and I'm all space this week because of Star Wars coming out.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, man, it just I love that spacey look in a comic book. Like,
I like the section where he's like reflecting or whatever in that room, and the orbs show him his wife, the water bubble.
Yeah,
thing. I liked that. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I really that was my favorite part, man. It was just really cool. I give this one a solid holy though, man. I think it's a great mixture of kind of an original story to me, the newer reader, and I think it has great artwork. I'd say it's a holy. I definitely recommend picking up. What would you rate it? I
would agree with your rating. Now I'm a longtime Superman fan, but I've never heard or seen these characters before. If you go back to the golden age of comics, I may have missed something, but I don't think they have ever been introduced at all. Yeah. So good work. You're introducing new characters or new villains, and heck, we don't even know if they are villains, because if you read into the storyline, this guy was trying to get away from his job of future crimes or whatever,
right?
And he kind of got pulled back in,
Yeah.
So no, I give it a holy good job. I just can't wait till the next ones to see if we get to find out more information.
Yeah, I agree, man. I hope that I just hope they flesh it out and they don't leave it where it is now, because it's like there's still a lot of questions that I have about these guys, and like I really want them to answer those questions. And
then the only thing I could say, and I don't mean to be negative, but I would beg DC to do something with this Clark. Either give him something we like or get rid of him. I mean, that sounds bad, but it's just like so confusing to me. It's like, how can you have Superman and not have Clark Kent? Because this Clark, our Superman is now John White. I'm sorry.
No, it's Smith.
It's Smith? No, it's White.
The Holiday thing had the Smith residence, didn't it?
Yeah,
did
it's
okay,
Smith.
The Holiday one, I don't know. I guess
you're right. Yeah, that's his fake name that he's taken up or whatever.
Okay,
I agree though, but I do think I feel like I read something in the DC Direct Current magazine where Dan Jurgens kind of wrote his foreword about the mysteries of DC Rebirth and stuff, and I feel like he said we're gonna find out what the deal is with this fake. Or not this fake, the non-superpowered Clark Kent, and he is a part of the rebirth. I mean, he has to be, because like he's just sitting there doing nothing, man. There's something to that, like, and I don't know what it is yet, but he is going to play a part in the bigger rebirth. He has to. If he doesn't, I'm going to be upset about it, because right now, he's just dead air. I mean, he's just doing nothing, and
he's a boat anchor. He's slowing things down.
And he's honestly preventing, like. That stopped me from reading it a couple times, I mean, just that character and them focusing on him too much. So, again, I just want to know why he's there and stuff. But it's kind of a slow burn, I think. They're giving it a slow burn, and, sometimes that's okay.
Yeah.
So, you been reading Action Comics at all?
No.
Do you read any of the Superman titles at all?
Not really.
Not really. No,
Uh-huh.
You're more of a Wonder Woman. Yeah, I like them all, man. I read Bat, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And none of them are my favorites, but I just love the Trinity so much.
Yeah.
It's just, and we are going to be doing a focus episode on the new Trinity number 3 or 4, I think.
I think 4. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a focus on Trinity number 4. It'll be coming out the same day that the comic book comes out, midnight that night. So, yeah, check out for that.
How many podcasts do we have?
We have a lot, man. We have, and speaking of that, since we have a little time before the break, we are going to be starting some exclusive content for our patrons. So we have a Patreon website where you can donate to us on a monthly basis if you so choose. Donation levels starting at literally just $1 a month. That's, and so in return for that, we have levels of donation for you for that, but also we're going to start an exclusive weekly show called Sunday School. This is going to be a 30 to 40 minute show where we put it on. It's for patrons only. So, I mean, you pay just minimum $1 a month for this every week. And we're going to focus on one of the characters from the comic book that we discussed that week. So this week we are going to be talking about Lar Fleas, and that is going to be something that's going to come into play a little bit later in one of my other reviews, but we're going to just have a little discussion on that character, a little bit of a history lesson on him. So, yeah, were you about to say something, Jeff?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so, exclusive content for you guys. We figure, if you don't hear enough of us talking for free, you might just want to pay to hear me talk, or not, whatever, who knows. So, yeah, with that, I am going to go ahead and take us to a break, and we will be right back. All right, and what do we say, Travis?
And we're back.
Yeah.
Channeling my inner Shaggy Man.
Yeah, your inner Josh. Yeah. So we are back, and wow, I'm gonna have to turn that music down in post production. All right. So coming up next, we have Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. Yeah, that was I
loved it.
Been a standout for me. Another standout. So, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number 10. Story by Robert Venditti, art by Ed Benes. So Brainiac is just hanging out in his ship, admiring all his collections of alien species, like he's Smeagol, admiring his precious ring, but more on that later. So, meanwhile, the Green and Yellow Lantern Corps are watching Brainiac catalog all of them, like merchandise in a grocery store, and trying to figure out how to get themselves out of this mess.
Can we get a price check on one Yellow Lantern? Price check on one Yellow Lantern?
Exactly. That's so Saeed and Ganthet are telling Kyle Rayner about Rainier? I don't know. Whatever.
Rayner, yeah.
Ragnar. Right. Yeah, all about how the Green Lantern ring they found is all that's left of Hal Jordan. And it's literally, that's Hal Jordan. It's composed of his willpower and nothing else. Never been done by a lantern. Good job, Hal. Abin Sur and Hal Jordan are hanging out at the Dead People Party in the Emerald Space with all the other deceased Green Lanterns. Kyle Rayner pulls Hal Jordan out of the Emerald Space just as he was about to have a tea party with Tamartu's dad, Abin Sur, and all the other dead lanterns. At the end of the book, we find out that it's not Brainiac that's collecting the green and yellow lanterns, but it's actually the Prince of Avarice himself, Mr. Lar Fleas.
Awesome.
Yeah, very awesome. And he's holding the case with Zudar and yelling, "Mine! It's mine!
Mine!
Yeah, it's mine!" So, and that's it. That was the big reveal. And it was a little confusing to me, like, how big is Lar Fleas, and how did they get that planet to be so small? A little bit more like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids action going on, but he's holding the case with the planet in it. Mm-hmm. Like, how big is he?
Oh no, Brainiac
shrunk it. Yeah, he shrinks.
Oh,
that's what
his
he does.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, he shrinks. Okay,
and puts them in bottles under the bottled city of Candor.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Okay,
collects the cities, and then he, depending on what background you follow, it's he destroys the planet.
Right.
So no
takes
further
the city,
information
destroys the
can,
planet. Yeah.
No further information can be generated.
Awesome. So the book was awesome, man. Fun.
Yeah.
Really fun. I love seeing Kyle Rayner. I've never seen him in the comics before. He was never my Green Lantern, but everyone loves him, and I've always wanted to read him in comics, so it's pretty cool learning about him. I kind of got a sense of like how genuine he is and kind of how powerful he is.
He has managed to wield all lights in the spectrum, and he's a white lantern now.
Mr. Roy G. Biv himself.
What is that life then?
Yeah.
Is the
life. White is life. Yeah.
White is life, black is death.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So it was fun to see Hal kind of hanging out in the Emerald Space and talking with all the old Green Lanterns from different continuities. Like, have y'all ever read Tamartu's father in a book?
Yeah.
He was part of
Tomar Ray. Yeah.
Tomar Ray. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I gave you the first Green Lantern. You should have been introduced to him, or maybe it was in the second graphic novel. He actually goes, Hal Jordan's very first interaction with the ring and using it is he gets dispatched or pulled to Tomar Ray's planet to help him defeat this. Basically, it was a grass that grows super tall.
Yeah, so I must have thought that was Tamar too.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
So
they all look exactly the same.
Yeah, with the fin on.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, come on, that's xenophobic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
We can't tell them apart. Oh my gosh.
All the aliens listening to this
I'm so
podcast
sorry.
are going to hate us.
They're going to boycott it.
Xenophobes. Yeah, we're going to have
do
lawsuit
PSA
on our
announcements
hands.
and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that Hal and Kyle kind of team up, and the one thing I've been waiting for this entire book is like, let's get all of the pieces together, I want to see everyone come together in an awesome way.
And I liked how Abin Sur kind of he didn't like flat out tell him, but he basically said, hey, check it out, we're in the dead space here, or whatever
Emerald space,
Emerald space here, and if the Green Lantern Corps ain't here, they ain't dead.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a like, okay, we know that they're there. I really love the art when Kyle brings Hal back, and that hand comes out of nowhere, and it's bone first, and then it shows muscle growing over it, and then boom, he's all there.
Yeah, it's really, really cool, man.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's awesome, man. I love it. I think the artwork, it's just my favorite. It's always my favorite part of the Green Lantern books is the art, unless Jeff Johns is on story, and then it's story. Because but like the art is always astounding on Green Lantern books. Just the colors and the constructs and like all that stuff. It's just really cool looking. And I'm a very spacey person.
You're in
more ways. What?
You really had to.
Sorry, I spaced off.
Spaced off. Next.
Yeah. Moving on. So my least favorite thing about this book is kind of jumping back and forth between the different groups of people, but I feel like Vendetti has pretty good writing chops, so it's pretty seamless still. I mean, that's a minor gripe. I mean, in earlier issues of this book, it got a little bit like it was falling apart a little bit, but I feel like he really brought it together. I'm still just waiting for the Corps to be all together and face off against one problem, one big thing. Totally stoked to see Larfleeze be a part of the story. He's always a comedic relief to me. I don't know that I've ever really taken him too seriously, but from the history lesson that I did some research on, he can be taken seriously. He's pretty powerful. Like
he alone wields the power of an entire corps.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and like the willpower isn't really susceptible. Like the orange constructs and stuff aren't really susceptible to the green light of will, from what I've read. Like in the books, like in the Blackest Night book, like the Green Lantern Corps went after him, and like he had all his orange constructs, like his core going after them, and their green light just went straight.
Oh, right, yeah, it can absorb the green light. Yeah. In fact, violet and blue are the only colors that the orange light can't.
And blue absorb. Really doesn't do much to it. It's the violet one that does it,
right,
or is the most effective.
Right, yeah.
But the blue is able to like quenches their. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. We're the same page.
Yeah, cool.
But we can't talk too much about Larfleeze, so we have to give people incentive to donate $1 so that they listen to the Larfleeze special, because we have got a lot. He's a very interesting character. It's very awesome that he's popped up in Green Lantern. This is exciting.
It was funny because like I told Brad about the idea like to do the exclusive content thing, and he was like, "Oh, we should talk about Larfleeze this week," and I was like, I hadn't read this yet. I was like, well, I kind of wanted to do someone from the books, but okay, sure, let's talk about him. And then I read Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps. I was like, what?
Well, you got your wish.
And I was like, Brad, had you read that? And he was like, no, not at all. And I was like, wow, okay, that's good luck, I guess, because Larfleeze showed up in a big way.
Yeah.
I give this one a holy, though, man.
Straight up. Yep.
I reviewed it for the first time like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, and I asked you if I should like, do I really need to go back and read all 6 issues? And you were like, yeah, you probably should. You know, I mean, it's a good story and it'll pay off. Like, I think you said like you don't have to, but like, I'm glad I did. I spent one night reading all 6 of them, and it's like I'm glad I got it. Like the Summer or Soronic. Yeah, she's a cool character. Learning about how like the Yellow Lanterns aren't really like the worst people in the world, actually. They're not too bad, actually. They seem like good people. I mean, they
wield a scary emotion, you know, but
exactly.
Yeah, true, but like they took the Green Lantern's place when the Green Lantern went away, and they've actually been kind of like been the police force of the galaxy and stuff. I mean, so that's pretty cool to me. Like, so what would you rate this one, Trev?
I agree with you entirely. Holy. I wouldn't put it up in like a high holy or anything like that. No. I think it's just a good, solid book. It's had my attention since issue 1, and I'm sold on the whole thing. I love it. I think it's great.
Jeff Johns has kind of spoiled us on Green Lantern stories, so he's set the bar very high.
Yeah. Yep. But I love seeing the late 1980s, early 1990s Brainiac droids, or servants. That's not really Brainiac. It's just one of his many.
Oh, is it?
No, yeah. It's just one of his many helper robots,
androids,
androids.
Whatever.
But it appears.
I want to read Brainiac.
I don't think Brainiac would probably work with anybody.
No,
much
ever.
less.
He might cut a deal with somebody, but Larfleeze would never cut a deal with anything.
Yeah.
But he did, yeah.
Well, sort of.
Well, you have to tune into the show.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So, no, I think it's interesting. Like, is now Larfleeze in control of the entire Brainiac ship and all the bottles? Because it says he's doing the Grand Collector, and what would you title Larfleeze other than a Grand Collector?
For sure. Yeah. I couldn't help but notice that the Brainiac glowed orange.
Yeah.
And it actually made me wonder, is he under the influence of the orange light?
Yeah.
That's
but I don't know. I don't have any other Brainiacs to compare it to, because I guess I usually picture Brainiac green.
Yeah.
But
and Brainiac's been destroyed in the New 52, because Superman flew back through the black hole and drug Brainiac with him. So we don't have a Brainiac anymore unless we get a new one here in the Rebirth title. But as far as this is the kind of confusing part with Rebirth, is they keep drawing back from New 52 sections and then pre-52 and then new story content. So it's like a nice little mixture of everything, and you're like, wait, I thought, let's just go with it.
I guarantee you that like the New 52 Brainiac is still dead, but the pre-New 52 one is probably the one that they're going to bring back.
Yeah.
And that's because like there's a theme here where it's like people generally, like, if there was a character that you didn't like in the New 52, generally they're in Rebirth, they've killed them off and brought back the old one. And it's like there's a reason for that. It's because like people griped about the New 52 Superman, so they killed him off and brought the old one back. But there were also things that people liked about the New 52. Batman was a big one that people really enjoyed about the New 52, and they kept that Batman. So it's been good. So awesome. We are going to move things right along to Wonder Woman. Who has Wonder Woman?
I have Wonder Woman number 12.
What?
Yeah, I do. Not Noah.
Noah doesn't have Wonder Woman?
I think get the draw.
I am a little nervous about this, especially since sitting across the table giving me the eye on this.
No. It's actually good.
Yeah, no, it's good to get a fresh perspective on it.
Okay, definitely.
So up front with everybody, I have not really been reading Wonder Woman. I've thumbed through the pages and everything and been listening to the podcasts and everything, so I know the backstory, but I am not super familiar with her. So my apologies if you're a fanatic about her and I missed something, but I'm giving you a new, fresh look at it.
No, that's
starting on number 12.
Yeah, maybe we can fill in some gaps too.
So, Wonder Woman number 12, team is Rucka, Scott, and Fiaro Jr. So we start off with a newscast. This just in. A group of 5 gunmen in a downtown mall have been apprehended by a mysterious, what would you call it? A superwoman. I wonder where she could be from. Really weird. I saw the superwoman on the little television screen and I was like, I bet you Noah's just flipping out about this.
Yeah.
So that's right, Our Lady of Themyscira is on every TV channel after her fantastic feats against the Seer group. Dr. Minerva, Lieutenant Candy, and Commander Michaels are all working together to find information about the dastardly foe. But all they can obtain from questioning their new captives is his will shall not be denied, and the sketch of a dark tree that Dr. Minerva recognizes. We cut to a training montage between Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor. Really cool art. I loved it. And the splash page and everything. And in the back of my mind, I don't know why, but I had the whole Rocky theme running, you know?
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Eye of the Tiger. You know?
I had the, if you could talk to the animals song from Dr. Dolittle. 'Cause I love that. I love her sticking her tongue out at the iguana, man. That was my favorite panel of the whole week.
I missed that because I had my PDF set wrong I was flipping through too quick, and then when I went back to write my review I was like, wait, I missed it. That's kind of cool. There's your laughing point there.
Super cute.
So okay, as Steve is collecting info on Wonder Woman, he finds out that she can speak with animals now, and Steve says that she will have to show her friends info on Wonder Woman and finds out she can speak with animals, and Steve say that she will have to show her friends when she returns home. We find out through broken English that she can never return to Themyscira. This draws Trevor and Wonder Woman closer together to strengthen their newly formed relationship. Is that correct, Noah?
Yeah. Yep.
It's newly formed. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Trevor and Wonder Woman return to the group of Candy, Michaels, and Minerva, where the commander expects an update on all of Wonder Woman's abilities. Dr. Wonder Woman. She went to school, got her PhD.
That's a new Rebirth thing.
Dr. Minerva talks with Wonder Woman into who the Sears group is in her own tongue, but the idea of terrorists doesn't set in with her. She doesn't understand what that means. Minerva shows her the sketch of the dark tree, and Diana recalls seeing this dark tree on Themyscira right before Steve Trevor arrive. She also grabs her arm where the snake bite from 2 or 3 episodes ago showed up, or she recalled. She says that it appeared from nothing and it was made of darkness. She grabs her wrist, where, again, the snake bite was, and then says, I talk to men. I find truth. All the men are brought into the questioning room and they're wrapped with the lasso of truth. And they start to ramble about death spreading all over the globe and there is no way to stop it. And it is the Maru virus, a biochemical agent based off of a Soviet-era combat drug designed to flood a person's adrenal glands and lash out at everything, eventually killing the host. Lieutenant Candy informs Wonder Woman that Steve Trevor's team was on their way to a lab that they had located that had that virus, and to stop the production of the virus and recover a sample, but his plane crashed and he washed up on Themyscira. Minerva asks for a moment with Wonder Woman alone to discuss a hunch. They walk outside, and we were revealed that she's been toying with a way to translate Seer group to Diana's language, because as of right now, Seer only means to cook meat, basically.
Right, yeah.
So it doesn't translate to, is it Themyscirian?
Yeah, there you go. Sure. Or I guess they speak ancient Greek, probably.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
So, the only way she can do this, Dr. Minerva, is rearranging the words, or the letters in Seer, which she finds out and she thinks it actually stands for Ares, which Ares is the god of war, which Diana says he is not an ally of hers and that his way is madness that consumes all. Interesting.
Not that nice of a dude.
God of war, not like you'd expect him to be.
Yeah.
And then just like that, madness that consumes all, just like that, the Maru virus, and boom, in busts a fully armored figure holding Steve Trevor by the neck saying, "Princess of Amazons, I have been waiting eons to meet you." And we stop the book, and next time we get to see the overall battle between the God of War and Princess Diana. So I thought art was cool. I thought the story was good. Like I said, I haven't followed. This is the first one I've actually read cover to cover.
Right.
I don't think you really even need to know a whole lot about it. You could pick up on this and go forward. Our mysterious person has been revealed to be Ares, the God of War, and we are off to an awesome battle, I think. It shows us who's behind the dark tree, the villain's revealed, and the real warrior can be released to defend her new home. I give it a holy. I liked it. And I am also going to send a 6-pack of white t-shirts to DC Comics so that they can fully clothe Steve Trevor in the next time, because he seems to always lose his shirt in every single comic
he does.
I wonder if there's a reason for that.
Maybe he doesn't get paid enough to buy any other thing.
Yeah, up that dude's salary, man.
Right. Yeah. No, I liked it. What did you think, Noah?
Yeah, I think that this was, in my opinion, probably the best issue of the whole series so far.
Same.
To me, good. I mean, the fact that we got classic Ares bursting in at the end was awesome.
So that was classic Ares?
Yeah, that's classic not George Perez 52. Ares. Okay, no, cool. The new 52 Ares is an old man with a long beard, and he's
really?
Hunched over and on a cane, but yet he's the God of War, and he's very experienced and sees war and barefoot. Yeah, it's a very odd departure. So to see like classic George Perez Ares with the helmet in the blue like he was always, and that was pretty exciting. And you notice the snakes around his neck, and that's a key. I mean, she was bitten by the snake in the tree, and the tree is a symbol of the Seer group, which is an anagram for the Ares group.
Yeah.
So he
there's a lot of intertwined and subtle information there, because I was reading through it trying to make notes and everything. I'm like, man, this is just really good writing. Like, it's a lot of little things coming together and balling up and making this thing is good work.
And Rucka is just, man, I love that dude.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite scene out of all was, though, the part where the prisoner is weeping at her hands after the lasso of truth got them to see themselves, and he's just crying, and he says, "Please, forgive me," and she's just got such a look of compassion on her face, and that panel really represents kind of what Wonder Woman represents to me, stands for, so I thought that was super cool. A couple of things I noticed, just like Easter egg things that I'll have to point out, when they were talking to Ares, the Seer group people that they had captured, and they said terror and panic, discord and war.
That's the dogs,
Veronica Cales in the current timeline. So I bet she's got ties with Ares, because she's trying to capture the gods or do whatever with that, and those are minions of Ares. So that was a fun tie-in. And the Maru virus. Wonder Woman's very first costume villain was in Sensation Comics #2, and her name was Dr. Poison, and she was she's gonna be in the movie, and she was a master of poison during war, and her real name is Princess Maru.
Oh, really?
And so I don't know how this can't lead into Dr. Poison being behind this, or working with Ares, or maybe being another secret villain behind the villain and stuff, and that'd be poetic to reintroduce like her very first costumed villain from the 40s that kind of dropped off for a while, and back into the continuity.
There's more supervillains.
Well, I wonder, do you think that Dr. Poison's going to be the only villain in the movie?
I no, because Danny Houston's character is obviously a villain to the general, and a lot of people are speculating he's going to be Ares.
I hope so.
He very well could be. I don't think he's going to be, to be honest. I think Ares is a little too big to throw in there right now. She's going to fight the God of War, but Doomsday, was challenging enough. They had to take on 3 of them. I don't know, I have a feeling he's going to be the Duke of Deception, which is another character from the 40s that was a minion of. He was basically one of Ares' generals, and so I think that would be a little bit more fitting. It's like how Steppenwolf is going to be the villain of the Justice League next time instead of Darkseid. That's kind of how I'm...
Or so we think.
But
I have my own theory on this, though. See, I think that Warner Brothers is kind of learning as they go with these movies, and I think one of the big criticisms that Batman v Superman received from fans was that you guys shouldn't have told people that Doomsday was in the movie. You should have just let that be a surprise when people went to see the movie, because it would have paid off in such a larger way for fans. I think a lot of fans felt that way. So I think with Wonder Woman, I think they may be playing their villain pretty close to the chest, and I kind of hope that they don't reveal who their villain is until the movie comes out.
Yeah.
Because there's just something to be said for... I mean, I just went and saw Rogue One. It was a movie that I didn't think was going to have any surprises for me, and I intentionally didn't look anything up because I wanted to be surprised. Neither of you have seen it, so I'm going to go ahead and spoil it for you right now. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it is like, man, that packs such a punch when you were surprised by those things, you know, and just especially with Wonder Woman, I really want to be surprised by something.
Yeah, I think.
And at our age and in our time with the internet and all this information at our fingertips, it's kind of nice to be surprised by things every now and then. It's refreshing. Even if it's bad, it's still a good surprise.
You're surprised. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, imagine how cool it would be if, like, all the trailers lead you to believe that it's Dr. Poison, and you go into the movie, and like 3/4 of the way through it, Ares shows up, and it's just like, you would just like die. You'd be like, holy crap, this is awesome. Yeah. Like, you know, like, I mean, it would have to work in the right ways and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, did you have anything else you were talking about with Wonder Woman?
No, I mean, I was going to say they haven't revealed the villains yet. We just are using logical guesses to, you know, think it's Dr. Poison and then maybe the Ares or whatever. So they're doing a good job keeping the plot mostly secret. So I'm excited. Yeah, it leaves the anticipation.
Yeah. I think we know it's Dr. Poison, because there was that thing in the trailer with the gas mask and stuff. Yep. And yeah, did she have a mask like that in the comics at all?
Yep,
the kind of half mask?
Oh, not exactly. She definitely wore a full mask and originally kind of masqueraded as a man.
Oh, really?
And it wasn't until her like hood was removed that she was revealed to be Princess Maru. So.
Oh, cool. Okay, awesome. Yeah. One thing about Wonder Woman that I've thought too, the movie is like the stakes don't seem very high, and so it's like I want the stakes to be set, because it's like her against a bunch of mortals is like, come on, like, you know,
right? There's got to be some,
you know, like guns aren't really going to do much to her. Like you need some type of supernatural threat,
right?
Like,
and trust me, I've watched the trailer enough times and slowed it down enough times, and you know, tried to pick out every single thing I could. And at the very end, there's some very fast moving scenes with the lasso, and when you do slow it down, it is very clearly Danny Houston's character in it that she's, you know, whipping around all over the place. So I'm really positive he's got some divinity or some power to him that, you know, she can slam him into the ground and he not die. You know, so
okay, awesome.
Yeah,
very cool. So you obviously would give this one a holy, right?
Yeah, yeah. This is the best so far, and yeah, I think pick it up and start reading, because it's only getting better.
Yeah, I tend to give the year one actually a salvation. I for me, like I give the Liam Sharp run, I give that a solid holy, but Nicholas Scott's art is just fantastic. I love the artwork. It's just so bright and clean, and it represents like just that spirit of like a bright and hopeful Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
to me.
And I actually misspoke. I kind of forgot about Salvation. It's a Salvation title.
Man, especially with the eagle and just the talking to animals stuff, and it's just really cool, man. I love it. There's these key parts where like she drinks soda and like spits out, you know, like these comical parts where it's like that, and I love how they made her look Greek too.
Yes,
a lot of things make her look like Caucasian.
Very Caucasian, right?
Yeah. And that's not Wonder Woman. You know, that's one thing I love about Gal Gadot is like, you know, that she looks ethnic, and like that's just who Wonder Woman is. Yep. So it's pretty cool.
I love that she has a slight accent when she talks, because I think Wonder Woman would have an accent when she talks.
Absolutely.
You know, and so it's just great.
I talk to man.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we are going to move things on here. Noah, what you got for us?
All right, next we got Red Hood and the Outlaws #5 by Scott Lobdell and with art by Dexter Soy. I'll recap a little bit what's happened so far. Basically, Red Hood has infiltrated Black Mask's gang along with the Amazon Artemis and have discovered that Black Mask has weaponized the Superman clone Bizarro through a mind control virus. In this issue, Black Mask has unleashed Bizarro on Gotham. Red Hood realizes that what little there was of Bizarro's mind is still in there when Bizarro doesn't kill him when he has the chance. Red Hood himself had the chance to kill Black Mask, but couldn't bring himself to do it, having flashbacks of lessons taught to him by Batman. Instead, Red Hood has Artemis distract Bizarro after promising to try not and kill him, while he goes back to his Bat Cave, or, well, the Red Hood Cave, or the Red Cave, or the Hood Cave, or
the Hood Cave.
The Hood Cave.
But the Hood Shack.
Yeah. Anyway, his version of the Bat Cave that's located beneath the GCPD to retrieve the antidote to the mind control virus. The further apart that Black Mask gets from Bizarro, the weaker the connection becomes. Black Mask follows Red Hood into his hideout, which was apparently the plan all along from both of them. They each kept trying to one-up each other on who was one step ahead of the other one, because Red Hood did want him to follow him, and Black Mask also knew that Red Hood wanted him to follow him. It gets confusing, but yeah. Anyway,
yeah. It does a little bit, yeah.
But in a comical way. I mean, they're like, no, I knew what you were doing. No, I knew that you knew that I knew what you were doing. Meanwhile, Bizarro and Artemis's fight has taken them inside the GCPD themselves, and the building is ready to collapse from the damage. Below, it appears that Black Mask has the edge over Red Hood. He has the barrel of his gun pointed at Red Hood's head. Black Mask removes his mask and says, all you have to do is stare death in the face.
And it's like a skull
face, yeah.
It's cool. I like the way that he looks unmasked.
Yeah, more scarier than with that S&M mask, but
right, yeah.
Like we said, like Jason Todd's never had to do that before.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And next, Outlaws at Last.
Nice.
This it's such a fun book. The dark humor stayed consistent throughout. The jokes were consistent. Bizarro face planting himself right at the beginning of the book was hilarious. He just tries to fly, but it doesn't. Where he just face plants and knocks himself out.
I love the part where like he's pushing Red Sonja and she's like
Artemis,
trying to, wow, Red Sonja.
Yeah, no, she's got.
I was gonna say she looks a lot like Red Sonja. Though. No, Artemis, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Trying to stop you."
Yeah, trying. I in ordered if when Bizarro like face planted himself, it was due to like Black Mask just not having complete control over him yet.
Yeah.
Like when I play a new video game and try driving the vehicle for the first time and just like crash it right away. I don't know how the controls work.
Yeah.
But it was also fun seeing Jason struggle with being a good guy in his flashbacks with Batman.
A
lot of it was funny. He says Artemis has all the skills of an Amazon warrior and the personality of a longshoresman, or which is a sailor.
Oh yeah.
I thought they had some funny dialogue. Artemis tells Jason he should go to the hospital or take a nap, and he's like, I don't need to take a... Geez, you're like 50 Shades of grating.
Yeah, I love it, yeah.
And then Bizarro chips her axe, which she's got a metaphysical bond to, so it like hurts her.
Yeah.
And Red Hood's like, do you need to go to the hospital or something? She's like, shut up.
Yeah, what did she say to that? Oh man, I forget. She said she had some funny like one-liner to that.
Yeah, well, she's like, "Shut up," and then she's like, "My wounds are metaphysical. There's nothing a physician can do
to help me."
And when there's another like when he stops her, like he puts his arm on her to like stop her from killing Bizarro or whatever, and she's like, "Do you have any idea what happened to the last man to touch me without permission?"
Yeah,
it's like they probably end up with a broken arm if they're still alive.
Yeah, if they're lucky, that's a best case scenario.
Yeah, and I agree. My favorite scene essentially was where she was trying to like stop Bizarro. He's just walking at normal pace, just trudging, and she's got her arms fully extended, like the road has got her
concrete's busting
out as it's digging. Yeah. And the GCPD are like, "Step aside, lady." And she goes, "Have you lost your minds? Clear the streets, get out of here."
Yeah. Are you guys idiots? Like, what are you doing?
It's hilarious. I do have to point out, because I'm a weirdo, I did actually for the first time find a negative in this book, and one that's kind of a big one in my book, and there's a glaring inconsistency in the coloring, I thought.
I did. Are you just saying as a whole, or
one specific thing I thought when Artemis was first shown, I thought, oh, she changed her boots. She normally wears red boots, now she's wearing black boots. I was like, that seems kind of odd, but I'll just whatever. And she had black boots for most of the thing, and then halfway through it, she's got her red boots back. And I just noticed stuff like that, and I don't know. I don't have style sheets for that, but anyway,
you're very right.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You're very right.
So I kind of had to give it a knock on that. Would normally be maybe a border on a high blessing to low holy. It gets my blessing.
Yeah, wow.
If they would have been better on the.
That's really strange that happens. Yeah, it's small, but it's small,
but yeah,
attention to detail,
it,
man.
Yeah.
Props to you for that.
It'd probably be different if it was like on Red Hood or something like that. But I noticed it right away on Artemis. And,
Why is Red Hood's hood black? What?
Yeah.
I don't know. This can't be right.
I do feel like the artwork in this has always been a standout to me, but
yes.
I don't feel like this is the strongest art issue that we've had.
Yeah, I also didn't feel like it was the strongest plot issue. I mean, it was good, but do we got to keep fighting Bizarro? I mean, let's unite them. Let's get going on.
Because what issue are you? We're on 5
now,
on 5, so it should be. This
Plus
is the conclusion.
And,
so this is actually 6, and I mean, they're the Dark Trinity, so they need to start working together at some point, And I mean, you would think that would be right about now. Is this issue number 5?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So, but hopefully it'll pick up. It says Outlaws at Last is the next issue, and maybe that's a sign that they'll officially have Bizarro on their side and be the Outlaws now. So
yeah,
we'll see. I still love this book. It's my favorite. It's like if this were a movie, it'd be the thing I'd want to watch with just the dark humor and the jabs and things. So and it's only 5 issues in. So if you haven't picked it up and you want a little alternative from your typical Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman comic, check out Jason Todd, Artemis, and Bizarro.
Yeah, man, they're cool. They're a lot of fun. I really like Artemis a lot. She's comical to me, and like she doesn't take shit from anyone.
Super badass.
She's just like just in your face. I don't know. I love it. She's great. She's just and I don't know, good character. And I learned a lot from her too. Yeah. So, Jason Todd has never quite been my favorite Robin. I think like. He's never quite been a lot of people's favorite.
Clearly, since everybody voted to kill him. But
but he's rocking it as Red Hood, though.
Yeah, now that they start giving him good dialogue and stuff,
he's definitely grown on me as a character. Even in the New 52, his Red Hood and the Outlaws when he was with Arsenal and Starfire was pretty good, and I kind of started to like him. And actually, the Arkham games,
I dug that.
Introduced him as a major character and really brought a lot of life to him. That so I've kind of grown to like him a lot.
Man, I totally guessed the ending to that game. Like, the even before it came out, I was just like, come on, like you kind of knew what was going down there. Have you played that at all, Arkham Knight?
No, I haven't.
Do you play video games?
Oh yeah. I've got all the Arkham games except for the last one where the Batmobile's in it.
Yeah,
because you have to switch over to the new
Xbox,
and I
just don't want to do that. Yeah. It's a fun one, man. I don't know. Arkham Asylum was always my favorite out of those games. Like that.
Arkham City was mine.
Really?
Yeah. Because
man,
I mean, you got Catwoman for the first time, and so playing as Catwoman with the whip was awesome.
Yeah,
and plus, I don't know, like that was the first time I felt Arkham Asylum was great, and you had the asylum to explore or whatever. But I just really felt that was the first time Gotham was alive in a 3D way that I could go explore. Right.
Yeah, that was very cool. I don't know. Maybe it was because it was my first time being exposed to like a Batman sort of open world setting, but like Arkham Asylum just has like I have these memories of it where it was like I was so into that game.
Yeah,
like I know it's 4 a.m., but I don't want to stop playing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty much it. And cool. Awesome. Yeah, I give this one a blessing. I give the story arc, though, a holy. I think this was a good issue, but I think overall the story arc's been great.
Definitely.
So, definitely a fun one to check out. It's definitely like, it's not your run-of-the-mill DC comic book. I think it's a little different and weird, and it kind of threw me off at first, but after I learned from a little bit of the history from like that, I got into it a lot more. So, and the artworks alone is just, if you're into artwork, this is a good one. So, awesome. Well, we are going to pass things off to Travis for our last book. What do you got for us, Travis?
I am going to read our review for Batman Detective Comics number 946.
Cool.
Written by James Tynion IV, art by Eddie Barrows, and short recap here. This book starts off with the flashback of Batman and Tim Drake Robin chatting at the old Wayne Tower about 3 months ago. The dynamic duo is discussing how they're going to put together a team of super awesome superheroes. Tim was kind of a balancing factor in that relationship that leveled Batman out and made him a more optimistic person. Meanwhile, in present day, the outcast Bat Squad shows up to the Tompkins Free Clinic where Azrael has been fighting the super baddie victim syndicate. Batman has a little face-to-face with the leader of the victim syndicate. We cut to Steph, or Spoiler, talking to fake Tim Drake, which is a construct that was made to help the team train. If I remember right, it's like part robot, part Clayface.
Yeah, it was like the DNA that Batman extracted the stuff that Clayface uses or whatever. Yeah.
So earlier in the series, Steph put in some FaceTime with the main victim, and now she decides that she's gonna blame Bats for all the negative stuff that's happening all over Gotham. That makes total sense, right? Not really. I kind of got lost in that section myself when I was reading through. I was like, really? Did this need to be in here? All right. Well, that's all right.
Yeah, it kind of like her logic there was just like, I don't know, man. Further
lost.
The plot.
So we get a cool fight with Batwoman and Madame Crow, which is the female Scarecrow version.
I dug that.
I did too. I liked it.
That was cool.
Who's using her own version of Scarecrow's fear toxin, and it's an anti-fear toxin. Which is really weird because Scarecrow's in... I don't know. It was really odd because the justification to it.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I dug it. I bought it and kept going.
Yeah.
Which, as it turns out, it doesn't really have a whole lot of effect on Batwoman because she is a totally fearless badass that's not afraid of nothing.
Yep, exactly.
Seriously, I want to see a series called Fearless starring Batwoman, Wonder Woman, and Artemis. Anyways, Batwoman kicks Madame Crow's ass. Batwing even shows up to help out with the ass-kicking party. The book ends with an entire Bat Squad showing up to face the first victim. And it looks like Bat Squad is going to win. But then someone shows up who really spoils their party. Can you guess who it is? She's a real spoiler. And it's to be continued in The Brave One.
I dug that last page, man, like with Spoiler kind of doing a Spider-Man stance.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I'll be completely honest with you. I don't get the ending of this one. I mean, like, she blamed Batman there in the middle, and she had her little reflection time, and then she's attacking the team because
have you been reading this one?
Yeah.
So you remember there was a while back where she went to the hospital, and an issue ended with the like Hellraiser looking leader of the victim syndicate like showing up in her hospital room in the window, and that's where it cut off, and we never saw that interaction between those two. So
she might be getting controlled or
controlled or
maybe
convinced. Yeah, I think that person probably convinced her, like, you know, all this bad stuff is happening in your life and Batman's the reason why it's happening. So, you know, let's do something about that.
So tell me this, what's the deal with with Spoiler, because she doesn't really have any powers, right? She's like a Batman, where she's just a normal.
Yeah, she doesn't have any superpowers.
Yeah. Just so all around badassery. That's
really,
it.
I mean, in previous incarnations, I don't know if it's been the same since Rebirth, but her dad was Cluemaster.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
who was a villain.
Yep.
And she was not happy about that. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, she took the name Spoiler to spoil his plans.
I like it.
And later took the mantle of Batgirl.
Okay, cool.
And she was Batgirl for a very long time, and then...
I just couldn't see why, she took down the entire team except for Batman at the end of it. I'm like, I don't understand this, but...
Yeah, it didn't really...
Didn't
make a whole lot of sense to me either.
But it was pretty good. I know it's a very small part, but each one of the team had their little fight that they were focused on, and we had the really neat... handoff to Clayface, and he confronts the woman Mudface, I think.
Yeah,
Mudface.
Yeah, and he's basically giving Batman credit for giving him the little bracelet thing that allows him to go back to normal human form, and he hands it to her and says, "Here, you need this more than I do."
Yeah.
And she puts it on, and she becomes who she really was, and then all of a sudden it shocks her. I liked that. I don't know why, but I was like, that's good. I like that. That was a clever,
Well, it makes him still a villain too. Like he's like, sorry, I am who I am. Yeah. So. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like this book has been kind of hot and cold for me. I kind of feel like maybe there's too many cooks in the kitchen. Like, a little bit. Like
I'm not sold. Like I would probably rate it somewhere between a purgatory and a blessing.
I think I give it a low blessing.
I'm gonna read the next one.
I will too.
It's not bad at all. It's just it hasn't grabbed my attention and pulled me along like with Wonder Woman.
Right.
Issue 12. I've never read any of the other issues, and I'm kind of...
You're on board.
Yeah, I'm on board. Yeah. I'm going to read the next one for sure.
One thing I do have to give him credit for, I really like the way they draw Clayface in this book.
Yeah, I do too.
The art was there. There was that close-up of Stephanie Brown's face, kind of in profile, and I just thought that was very beautiful.
Yeah,
artwork.
absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a minor detail too, but I like in the art how they draw the scalloped cape for Batman, and they've kept it consistent
I
throughout
noticed
the whole
that
thing.
too. That is
back
cool.
Of his cape,
Yeah.
Oh man, that's like old school too.
Yeah, that was super cool.
I mean, that's like back when they were coloring by hand and stuff. Like that's just the best. Yeah, I love it. Very cool. So, I don't know if I like the way Tim Drake looks in it either. I don't know. His face looks weird to me. Maybe it's because I don't know. I guess I do and I don't like it because I like how he looks different from other Robins, and so they're making the Robins look different from each other, which is nice because they all kind of tend to bleed together sometimes in that costume. So, yeah, I dig that. But I don't know. The artwork has always been a standout for this. That's one thing that's kept me going on this. The story has been, like I said, just kind of hot and cold and stuff. So, yeah. So, I still would recommend reading it if you're into a good Batman story. I do feel like Batman Detective Comics needs to be Batman doing detective work. I've said it every week.
Every week.
Give me a book where Batman is like going through crime scenes,
like mysteries, and
and the next story arc for this is going to be Batwoman Year One, and it's like why what? Give her Batwoman Year One and let Batman do his detective work in this. Like there's kind of a time-honored tradition of detective comics. It's DC Comics, like like. But I don't know. Maybe I'm off base on that. I don't know.
You're so off base.
I'm off base, man. Off the rails. Yeah. So I don't know. What, Noah? You got thoughts on this?
No, I'm not really. I unfortunately that's one of the ones I don't get to read.
Yeah.
I do know. I did not know that the Batwoman was going to take over Detective Comics, but I think that's interesting because pre New 52, they did that. They reintroduced her into a big story arc, and she was the lead of Detective Comics. So they may have set themselves a small precedence for doing that. But I guess that interesting.
To be determined.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a connection? Cool. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. Cool. So, man, we got through the books a little faster than we normally do this week. I'm thinking if there's any news, but I don't think there is, other than just, we're starting the new show. We're going to keep things moving here after we record this show. So you can check us out at patreon.com/nerdchurchradio if you want to continue to listen to our Sunday school lesson on Lar Fleas. Other than that, do you guys have anything else for the listeners tonight?
Donate some money towards that Patreon site. Grab some animal crackers and some orange Kool-Aid and sit down Indian style on the carpet and listen to our little Sunday school cast. It's going to be awesome.
Man, it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, cool. If you do want to find us, you can do so at Nerd Church Radio anywhere, all forms of social media, nerdchurchradio.com. Nerdchurchradio@gmail.com is our email address. We do really want iTunes reviews too, so I think on the new year in January, we're going to have a little contest where, we did something where we gave away a loot crate to someone who gave us an iTunes review back in October. I think we're going to do something similar there where I'm going to give away something for, if you give us an iTunes review, you'll be entered into a prize to win some type of contest, but I haven't figured out what yet. So more info to come on that. We are converting NCR to NCRN, Nerd Church Radio Network, and we are going to be hosting gaming podcasts. We're going to eventually start a movie and TV podcast. We have another one called Indie Comic Ninja that Dexter hosts. He's on the Indie Tuesdays show, so we got all sorts of fun content that's going to be coming out. Too much content for one person, so one other thing that we are going to be doing from now on is just giving you a little bit of history on where we're at. So right now we are at episode number 17 of NCRDC Comics. So, back in 1992, in Man of Steel number 17, was the first appearance of Doomsday.
Doomsday, the unstoppable force.
And he's been killing Superman ever since.
Yes, he has. So, just a little correlation between episode 17 and issue 17. We're going to do that every week. Just something fun for you to know about what happened on that number in history or whatever. So,
awesome.
Yep. So other than that, Noah, where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook, /Noah O'Toole.
And Travis?
You can find me on Twitter at TritonTR. That's TRITONTR.
And Nerd Church Radio everywhere. So with that, I will say peace be with you.
And also with you.
And have a great week, everyone.